that you got to be on point with your boundaries,
Yeah.
it helps
Yeah.
with your anxiety
I
level.
know. So that's perfect. So, okay. Hey, friend. Welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast with your host, me, Audrey Rose. This is the podcast all about taking your life to the next level. Join me on my journey as I create a life that I'm obsessed to wake up for every day. I hope that you are ready to create a life that you really, really love. Are you ready to rise? You guys, I have a treat today. We have Anna Patricia coming on, and she's the host of the Powerful Female Leaders podcast. Say that 5 times fast. But she has an awesome podcast. She talks a lot about business. She does so much for people. She's done coaching, all kinds of different things. And her self-care tip, by the way, is to have spa days at home. So you already know we love her, right? I can't wait to have her on, just talk a little bit about burnout, preventing burnout as you're starting a business, some juicy business tips as well, and just all the other things that go along with having a podcast with an amazing guest. You guys are going to enjoy this one. So, you are a business consultant. Can you just tell us a little bit about like what you do and what got you to this point and all of that fun stuff?
Mm. Yeah, so how long do we have?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh,
So, yeah, I mean, I graduated college and I was like, oh my gosh, like I love communication, I love
good.
social
Cool.
media and marketing and all
Yeah,
the stuff that goes into it. And then I started my own agency. That was actually my first business.
love
And
it.
then I just got exhausted with like the day-to-day
Yeah,
posting and monitoring and this and that and
yeah,
this
it's a
and that.
lot.
But I loved talking to my clients, and answering their questions and,
Yeah,
and then I asked myself, like, how can I help people on a like deeper
yeah,
personal level?
right.
And then one day I went on Google. I'm like, how can I help people? Like, what can I do? And then there's this coaching school pop up, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. So I read all the website, all the things,
Yeah,
I watch all the videos, and I was sold on this program. So
yeah.
I got
Wow.
certified as a life and health coach. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
I
the
love it.
yeah.
Love
And
this.
then yeah, I did like the health niche, the life niche, the purpose niche.
Yeah,
And then I was like, wait a minute, like what I'm really passionate about is helping women,
yeah.
package their gifts and their skills
So cool.
into,
Hmm.
programs and offerings and
Yeah,
helping them show up powerfully online, on social media,
yeah,
and really, grow their audiences, form connections, and get more clients. Like
yeah.
that's what I really love to do.
That's so awesome. But you know what I think is really cool is
Yeah.
just I just actually spoke with somebody who's doing something similar, but like at a financial capacity. But
Yeah.
but the thing that she has in common with you is like that background of the
Yeah.
coaching, of learning all of that
Yeah.
stuff, so that you can then help people in a different way.
Yeah.
Which
Exactly.
actually leads us perfectly into what I really wanted to talk about today was like anxiety in business. And I'm sure you
Hmm.
see it all the time because you're working with your clients and you see
Hmm.
like the newfound like business owner, right?
Hmm.
That's like just got her LLC or whatever she's doing. And it's so exciting. But then it's like, oh crap,
Hmm.
this is really scary. And I am
Yeah.
super anxious and I'm super scared.
Yes. Like all the little gremlins, I call them, like
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
voices, like, what are you doing? Like, you
Yes.
don't have enough this or enough
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like what happens if you do this and then this happens? And then
Mhm.
we imagine the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we've all been through there, I guess. Like I did
Yeah.
too. Like I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, like can I really go live and like share my
Yeah.
story and like be vulnerable? Like people
Yeah.
will judge me, and you start to like snowball into this negative mind space.
Yeah. I love that.
And
Hmm.
to be honest, one of the things that really, really helped was first to get support, find your tribe,
Hmm.
find the people who get you,
So
and
good.
like
Uh-huh.
talk about it. Like talk about, because if you keep everything here in your head, it's
Right.
gonna explode.
Right. As I was just thinking, it is gonna explode. Or also, like, you feel very
Yeah,
disconnected because you feel like you're the only one going through that. And then that makes
yeah,
you feel even lower self-esteem where you're scared
yeah,
to put yourself out there.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
it's all about like finding the people who
Oh,
get you, who are on the
yeah.
same vision, the same mission, who like are there to support you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it made all the
Find your
difference for
tribe.
me. And the other thing that I did too is like I realized that the things that we most resist doing
Oh,
are the things that are actually gonna help us move forward, right? So it's like, yes, I gotta go through this little bit of discomfort right here, but I know that if I do it, oh my gosh, the reward at the end is gonna be amazing.
yeah,
So it's like never losing focus of like what your true goals and vision is.
that
Because
makes
if it is
sense.
bigger, than
Yeah,
the fear and the discomfort, you're gonna push through it because you're like, I'm gonna do this.
yeah,
It's gonna be great no
yeah.
matter what happens, like at least I'm putting one feet in front of the other and I'm gonna get there, you
You
know?
know exactly like why you're doing it or who you're here to serve or
Yes.
like what that bigger purpose is. I
Yes.
want to focus a little bit about like the ways that we can reduce some of that anxiety or even like
Hmm.
for somebody who's just starting out and has like all the things like it's a lot, right? Like
Mm.
imagine like a brand new business owner's brain, all the freaking tabs that are open, all the things that they're thinking about, it is like coming at
Hmm.
you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what is like one of your first tips for just getting that person to narrow down all of those thoughts into focusing on the needle mover?
Mm. Well, then it's knowing what those needle moving things
Ooh, that's
are.
so good. So good.
Because if you know
Yeah.
what you got to work on,
Yeah.
then it gets easier to be like, okay, so today I know I got to do this. I know I got to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we tend to, especially at the beginning, like we tend to be like, oh, I have this huge to-do list,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if I don't get through it, like I have to work like
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
Yes,
And
yes. I
that's the
have to
other
get it all
thing.
done. Uh-huh.
Yes, don't do it. I
Yeah,
know it's
too much.
tempting, but to be
Yeah.
honest, like you burning yourself out is not worth it
Oh,
either.
especially right away. Yep.
So yeah, really focus. I would say on the top three most important things every day.
Super good
Like
advice. Yeah.
if you do these three things,
Yeah. Hmm.
you're set, you know?
I love that you bring that
Um,
up because like for
yeah.
me, like as I am like starting, like now I'm kind of pivoting a little bit and figuring out what I want to
Hmm.
do for myself. But
Hmm.
it's so funny because it's like you start to see more people in your niche and what they're
Yeah.
doing. And I'm like, oh, I want to do a text list. Oh, I want to do a website like this. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do all the freaking things. And my list keeps growing. And it's like, but you know what? Are any of those things going to pour into my existing clients or pour into the people I know,
Hmm.
like the things that I've been consistently doing?
Hmm.
And we don't
Exactly.
want to give up. And then what for
Hmm.
me, it's like you get all these crazy things, all the thoughts, and then it's like I
Hmm.
end up finding myself on Canva designing some random graphic that I'm never going to post for like 3 hours, right?
Mm.
It's just like
Yep.
for me, it ends up being like a total wash.
Yes.
Nothing done.
Yes. It's so easy to get lost in time and lost
Yeah.
track of time when we do these little small tasks.
Yeah.
Um, I would say this though, like you gotta really focus on the attracting part, the nurturing
Mm.
part, the
Yes.
converting part, and then
So good.
delivery. Those are the
So good.
four, yeah, those are the four things. So if the things you're
Love the
actually
breakdown.
doing helps to do like anything in these four major,
Sure.
pillars, then it's worth it,
Yeah.
right? Like I always tell myself, like the most important thing is, the attracting
Yeah.
and the, you know, converting. Because when I do
Uh-huh.
these interviews, right, I put
Yeah.
myself out there, people like learn more about who I am.
Right.
And when I do it on my show, on my podcast, that I'm nurturing my own people. So,
Uh-huh.
like, these are things that I
Good.
prioritize, right?
Mhm.
The interviews, the podcast, my group, my Instagram page, because I know these are part
Yeah.
of my attracting and converting and nurturing too. Like that's a lot of nurturing. So you got
Yeah.
to really focus on all of those things and narrow it down. Like, is this Canva graphic gonna help me bring more
Right.
clients and more
Right. Or
visibility?
nurture.
Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, if the
exactly.
answer is no, then it needs to be off your list.
Yeah.
And same thing with trying to grow. Like, I think that there's something to be said too for the anxiety we get by watching
Mhm.
others' highlights reels, right? It's like
Yes.
when you see that, like I see, you know, who just talked about this was Lindsay Schwartz. Lindsay just released an
Hmm.
episode recently talking about this, and she was super freaking open about how how long, I guess you would say, it took her to get to where she is today. And she's like, "You're
Mm,
seeing this gorgeous Instagram highlight reel because this is 7 years in the making." And she's like, "Only 100
mm,
people showed up at her first event." And that was like amazing for
mhm,
her. She didn't even expect that many people. But
mhm,
it's so true. Like we look at that highlight reel, we get the anxiety, and then we
mhm.
just completely like maybe shut down or maybe just you go crazy a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to compare myself so much too.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. Like I was like, but I'm already doing this and I'm already
Yeah.
showing up there and doing that and doing like a live or
Yeah.
in this and this.
Mhm.
And then it's like, why am I not, you're getting frustrated
Yeah.
because you're like, I'm doing all the same things this person is doing. And then it's
Yeah.
like I don't feel as I'm as far as they are.
Yeah.
But then, you know what happened? Like one day I joined this mastermind, like with this
Love it.
millionaire coach or
Oh, I love
whatever.
it.
And then I get in there and I realize like all these testimonials she was sharing, like these women were in business for like 15, 20, 30
Right.
years, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
They already have that
Yeah.
audience built, that
Mhm.
trust built, like,
Mhm.
and those are the things that we don't see because
Right.
they're not necessarily shouting it, like,
No.
oh, like I've been doing this
Yeah.
for X amount of time or like
Yeah.
so it's like you get in there and you realize all these people have been like putting in the work.
Yep.
Like you cannot compare your day one to their day like
Love that.
5,000.
So good. So true. Yeah. And that is such an anxiety producer. So just
Yeah.
remembering that from the beginning that you're doing it, like you're doing the
Hmm.
work, you're doing such a good job. Don't compare
Hmm.
yourself.
Mm-mm. The only person you should compare to is
Oh,
you, who you
yes.
were
So good.
yesterday, the actions you took
So good.
yesterday, where you can
Mm,
improve from yesterday,
yep. That's the quote that everybody needs to go back and listen to that quote, over and over because that's really the one. Like, let that sink in, that can
Mhm,
cause so much anxiety, but just don't bring yourself down. Don't do that. I would love to
mhm,
hear what else do you see coming up for clients when you're working with them? Like, what's another
mm,
thing, anxiety related that you're seeing a lot?
mm. I feel like it's the not enoughness. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't have enough certificates or
Mm-hmm.
degrees. I don't have enough clients. People don't take me seriously. But
Oh,
then when
imposter
clients
syndrome.
say that, yeah, imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
It's just because deep down they don't believe they're worthy. They don't
So
believe they're
good.
enough. So it's a lot
Yeah.
of identity work, a
Mm,
lot of deep self like identity and like how you see yourself
yeah.
and how much you love yourself, how much you
Yeah.
appreciate yourself, how much you do your self-care and
Yep.
like you got to go first. You got to take care of yourself first.
Hey you guys, it's that time where there's just a quick announcement. I'm super pumped that this burnout movement is seriously taking over. Like, you guys, we had so much fun in the previous Bliss Master class, and we have opened up the Master course. It's super exciting. The Master course is open right now. You can join. We are kicking things off, and that's all on Instagram or, helloaudreyrose.com where you can get all those details. But I really want to let you know that I'm so excited to announce that we are having another virtual masterclass. And this one is all about honoring our bodies. We're slowing down. We're going to do a little sound bath. We're going to learn a lot about gut health. And it's just so exciting. This one is also going to be virtual. So if you just text honor to 707-347-0723. You're going to get on the list for that, and there's so much more going on. I'm so excited for you, and be on the lookout. If you go to helloaudreyrose.com/events, you're going to be the first to know about all of the new courses coming up, the coaching we have coming out, and the best part, my favorite, the retreats. Woohoo! I'm so excited, you guys. Check it out. And as always, everything's going to be posted on my Instagram, which is at Hello Audrey Rose.
So you got to believe you're worthy of everything you want
Yeah.
to achieve and that you're enough in this exact moment and
Yeah.
you don't need more. You don't need more degrees, more certification, more clients. You're just enough as you are now. And when you do believe
Yeah.
that, then it becomes 10 times much more easier to like show up, share
Yeah.
your value, go on that podcast, get interviewed because
Hmm.
you know your shit, you know you're
You know
amazing
you're
and you gotta
worthy.
hype yourself up, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. I love that, like bringing out like the mental health part. It's like
Yeah.
mental health in business is still a thing. And remembering
Hmm.
too, like I know a lot of people who do health coaching or things like that where even like a
Hmm.
therapy type of a thing where they feel almost like they are not allowed to share what they're doing or like they shouldn't
Yeah.
be allowed to be a coach because they are still receiving
Hmm.
coaching. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, no, like that actually, if anything, that makes you more like
Hmm.
able to show up in that space because you are working on yourself still. Like you got to practice what you preach.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I also say like if it gives you so much anxiety that you don't have enough like testimonials or
Yeah.
whatever, like go out there and give free value or coach
Oh,
someone
such
for
a good
free. Like
point.
I did it. Like I coached,
Yeah.
I don't know, like through two, three people for free. I got those testimonials. I
Yeah.
hosted free masterclass, free trainings.
So
I
good.
screenshotted all the comments that I've gotten from there.
Yeah.
Like my album of testimonials is huge because I give so much. So
Yeah.
start giving value
You have
and
to.
it's gonna explode after there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure that helps with growth, word of mouth and things like that,
Yeah,
anyways. Just giving a little
exactly.
bit of that free value. That's such a good point. I have recently been getting invited to speak. And that's like a goal of mine is to do
Yeah.
public speaking, right? And do more of these motivational speeches. But I'm struggling right now with the value part because I'm just like,
Mm,
I want to get paid. But you know what though? I'm not there yet. I need like people don't know my
mm,
name. Like it's you can't get paid yet. So,
exactly.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. But I love that you bring that up, And also like I think that there's a lot of anxiety in general around that feeling of growth. And like you said earlier, just being worried that you're not
Mhm.
growing as fast. But just what about the opposite? Like the opposite for people who start to see themselves growing quickly or they start to see
Mm,
themselves taking off. And that's anxiety producing because you don't know if you're
girl.
ready for that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gotta learn how to hold
Yeah.
all of those things that are happening to you.
Yeah.
Because if your nervous system is like, oh my gosh, I cannot hold this right now, it's too much, like how I'm gonna hold this and repeat it, and you start like going in that cycle
Yeah.
too. And it's like you gotta like recalibrate and being like, I
Love that.
deserve this. Like I deserve
Ooh.
this success. I can
Yep.
do this. I can handle anything that comes my way. And if not, I can ask for help, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, like it happened to me like when I had my first 10K month, I was just like, holy hell, like
I
let me take a
bet.
breather.
Like,
Yeah.
geez.
And the next month, I was just like burning out already because my
Uh-huh.
nervous system was not
Uh-huh.
calibrated to that.
So
You know,
good
like
too.
you have
Yep.
all these new clients and like you do feel good because you're
Yeah.
having those results, but then it's like, holy shit, like what
Yep.
just like you're not used to it. Like you're not used to that reality yet.
Love
So
this
it's like you
point.
got to
Yeah.
calibrate to it and be like, no, like I'm deserving of this.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm worthy of it and more is going to keep coming and I'll be able to handle it all and
Right.
yeah, like
Yeah, because there's
and
anxiety in that part too, like where
yeah,
you have like a 10K month and then you're just like, well, I don't know if another 10K month is coming after this. Like, is it sustainable? And
exactly.
giving yourself the grace to know that you're just starting out and like it's gonna happen how it's gonna
Exactly.
happen.
It
But that's
is.
such a good point what you just made about that, but also on top of that is taking care of our mental health, taking
Hmm.
care of ourselves so that we don't burn out on that because you're gonna
Hmm.
have those thoughts, like you said, like that's just gonna come.
Hmm.
But you have to have the bandwidth
Yeah.
mentally to be able to deal
Yeah.
with that.
Yes. And to be honest, like I don't even know if I would have like be where I am now without having a
Yeah.
coach or someone
Yeah,
to
so
talk
good.
to.
Yeah, yep.
Like I've always had someone in my corner. So it just makes things like a lot easier when you can
Mhm.
talk through things and get that
Yeah.
support and that accountability. It's honestly life changing.
Yeah, yep. And this is like a business coach kind of a thing?
Yeah,
Or
I've
like
had
a
business
yeah.
coaches, mindset coaching, like
Yeah.
energy coaching, like like how to like maintain
Ooh.
those months and like how to like connect to your spirit team, your guides,
Yes,
your
yes.
ancestors, like
Oh,
like
I love
there's
this.
so much that has to do with
Uh-huh.
you know the spiritual world too.
Yes.
Because you gotta believe, you gotta have so much trust,
Yeah.
and you gotta know you're not doing this alone. You have like the
Yeah.
universe, everything supporting you.
It's
And
all
this is a
about you.
huge piece as well for me because I'm a highly intuitive person, and
Yeah.
really connecting with that, it made me like stronger, I feel like, you know?
Yeah. Wow. I love that
Mhm.
you brought that up because I felt like I come from the healthcare world, so it's definitely a very science-based world.
Mm.
And as I started getting into the woo, as you would
Mhm.
say, I like feel such a disconnect. But lately, I love how it's
Yeah.
starting to come more together in the
Yeah.
business world, the healthcare world, just all the worlds. We're starting to integrate our spirituality and all of that so much more.
Yes.
It's a big
Yes.
deal. It's a really big deal.
Yes, we're multifaceted
Yeah.
humans, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
we have so many different things going on, and I
Mhm.
think it's so important to like all these areas to improve
Yeah.
all of these areas as equally, because that's the other thing. I was so focused, business, 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 but then it's like, shoot, like what about my health, my mental
Yeah.
health, my physical health, my spiritual health, like all of these other things, my relationships. And when you focus too much on one area, then the other areas suffer, and that's not what
Yes.
you want. You want to be at your most like best self in
Yeah.
order to serve at your highest best self,
Right. Yes,
you
exactly.
know?
Like, yep, having that oxygen on you first.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
exactly.
be able to. Yeah, otherwise, how are you gonna pour into others? And then you're not gonna have another 10K month or higher,
Yeah,
if you're not
yeah,
ready for that. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Can you tell everybody where to find you? Is Instagram the
Mhm.
best place?
Yes, I love Insta. So you can go follow me at annapatricia.coach.
Perfect.
DM me, tell me you listened to this episode. I would
Love
love to
that.
meet, to chat. I also have my podcast, the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast.
So
We're
good.
on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major platforms where
Yeah.
you listen to podcasts. I've been doing this podcast for like 2 years now.
Yay!
I
Congrats.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I love it so much. I love like giving the opportunity for amazing women to
Yeah.
come share their stories.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's been amazing.
So exciting.
And yeah, like come join, listen to an episode. Let me know what you think.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And if I could have you leave everybody with one self-love or self-care tip, what would you say?
Mm, take a bath.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a Pisces,
Unwind.
so I'm all
Okay,
about
water.
water.
Yeah.
Drink your water, take a bath, go
Yes.
for a walk.
Yeah. Around the water.
Yes.
I just went to the beach this morning and I'm like, you need that. Every once in a
Yeah,
while, you just need that reset. So,
I know,
love
right? My dream
it.
would be to live near a beach.
Yeah, yeah, it's so
Love it.
good. Well, it was such a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait to see you again
Yeah,
soon when I'm on,
yeah,
and yeah,
yes.
it's gonna be
Thank you so much for
awesome.
having me. It was awesome.
Yes. I'm so happy you got to make it to another amazing episode of the Ready to Rise podcast. Don't hesitate to share this with a friend that needs to hear it. Send it straight to their DMs. Take a screenshot, throw it up in your stories, tag me in it at Hello Audrey Rose. And don't forget, if you leave a written review on the iTunes app, that also helps people find it. So if it resonates with you, help others find it. And I can't wait to hear how much you loved this awesome episode. Have a blessed day.